guys, Late Night Jacob here. I was gonna make a video this week and I ran out of time, so I'm making this instead. The last time I did this, you guys watched the video, all of you. That video has so many views. Why did you do that? I know, I have returned to Reddit after I vowed not to, but we're not looking at horror stories. No, today we are going to look at r/DM Academy, which is where people give advice about being a dungeon master, game master, whatever you want. Or just tell little stories about ways they were like, one time as a DM, I did this thing. And I'm going to rate how good they are. 1 is, that is the worst DM I ever heard. And 10 is, wow, they literally could not be more peak. That is the greatest GM I have ever heard in my life. Fun fact, after I recorded that first video that I recorded way late at night, the one where I was like, okay, I was gonna do a dungeon delve out this week, but I did not get that done. That after I did that and then recorded that at like 3 in the morning and then edited it, that was when I was like, I should probably have an editor. And now Skylar's here and I never want him to leave ever. Get back in the dungeon. Get back in the dungeon. You're not allowed to go. Whoa! Middle of the video from the past, Jacob here to talk to you about today's sponsor, Boot.dev. Have you ever wanted to learn back-end web development, programming languages like Python and Go? It's like a really valuable skill to have. It's something that takes a long time to learn, and learning how to code is like any other skill. It's better when you do it for real, which is why today's sponsor, Boot.dev, can help you learn these programming languages in a really fun and easy way. You get quests, you get XP, there are challenges that you have to overcome, and you get to program real things, so it feels like you're actually doing it rather than just like reading about how to do it. And this isn't some schlop that's just put together for you to learn how to code. Boot.dev is a curriculum and you can see how the instructors wrote the code, allowing you to go properly in depth to the theory and the practice. And also, if you're ever stuck, there's just solutions to everything, so you can be like, oh, that's how you do that, got it. And you get to complete quests. Man, who doesn't love doing a quest? So I have a quest for you. Go to boot.dev.com and use my code XP to level 3 to get 25% off the entire annual plan. If that's what you pick, if you choose the annual plan, if you pick that one, you get 25% off. There's a link down below. Okay, back to the video. Tip, ADHD can turn detect thoughts into a puzzle of its own. Every time I've seen detect thoughts used, it's been pretty straightforward. I ask the vizier if he knows what happened to the king. He says he doesn't. I cast detect thoughts. You hear him think, the king, that horse's ass. I'm glad it kidnapped him and locked him away in that invisible tower. As long as he's stuck there, there's nothing stopping General Krug and me from taking over this fly, dude? Dude, this fly is gonna meet its end. You're taunting me, you son of a... Which is handy for moving the plot along, but a little boring. If you want to make it a little bit of a challenge, turn it into a puzzle by giving them ADHD. Okay. Let's gamify this mental condition. Let's gamify the mental illness. It's silly and funny, and I can't work some days. That would be funny. It just gives him paralyzation. It's just like, I think it would be really fun if you gave more characters ADHD and it's just like, hey King, can we go do the quest now? And he's just like, I don't want to do that. Go get my Adderall and maybe I will. This fly, man. I hate it. I will kill you with Daggerheart. Almost got him. I cast detect thoughts. You hear him think, the king, that horse's ass. I wonder where the term horse's ass comes from. Why that animal specifically? Why not a chicken's ass? Can chickens fly? Wait, can birds sense invisible things before they hit them? I need to make sure nothing's hitting. Ugh. I still need to reprimand that guard for hitting on the cook. Oh, that reminds me. I need to talk to Krug about the... Wait, what did this person just ask me? Yeah, it's a little accurate, I guess. I guess it's a little bit accurate. It's basically like that, yeah. I literally fell into the trap. I was like, what the hell does horse's ass have to do with anything? It's a stupid term. That doesn't make any sense. What am I doing? Where am I? What's going on? Who are you? What's even more confusing, some people don't even have internal dialogue. I can't give an example of what detect thoughts would do in that situation because I actually have words and things in my head. That advice I rate a 5 out of 10. I think that's funny. I fear I won't be able to focus. If he comes back, I'm gonna get him. If I get him live on camera, that'd be pretty badass. Giving players a job was the best change I made for my newest campaign. I'll be the judge of that. So recently we launched our new campaign. It was a blast! Before we started, I went through all my previously DM'd campaigns and looked at what bothered me and how I might fix that. That's good thing to do. I'm like Iron Man. I learn something new after every campaign I finish. And then I adapt my next campaign to have something that fixed the previous thing. I'm built like that. Jarvis homebrew 5e until it's unrecognizable. One of my issues, and from what I read online and see online, I'm not alone, was the players not remembering what happened in the last session. I tried a few things previously, like offering a short recap at the beginning, but it never really felt natural. On top of that, we're all adults with an adult calendar, and which led to sessions being 2 to 4 weeks apart and us only playing online via Foundry VTT. None of those are things that help players stay concentrated while playing. Well, what do you mean? Just do a short recap. Didn't feel natural. You can't. What do you mean it didn't feel natural? It's a game. It's a game. However, this time I had the idea of giving my players something to do outside of our session. Like I also needed to prep before a session. I have 4 players, so I created 4 different roles for them, which the player chose, which they would want to do. The chronist, the chronist, the coordinator, the diplomat, and the quartermaster. The chronist, the chrono triggerist will write a diary from the perspective of their character and potentially note funny quotes from the session. The coordinator writes a quest log, keeping track of the quests they'd like to pursue and thinks they want to return to at a later time. The diplomat keeps track of the NPCs they meet and when they associate with them, like what their job is and how they might help the characters, etc. Lastly, the quartermaster will organize the group inventory and financial situation. This one might need to change for different groups, since not every group will have a group inventory. Oh, I don't think this is a good idea, but we'll just keep reading. After the first session, I already noticed what the benefits I got. I can't not read Reddit like silly fellas. After the first session, I already noticed what benefits I got from this. I have a real insight into my players' thoughts, which I never gained in that depth with my previous campaigns. I now know what they think of my NPCs, which quests, vignettes, or NPC encounters they found interesting, etc. Since I'm writing this campaign story myself, I had the flexibility to really integrate this into our story. They found an NPC I created to just serve them in the tavern suspicious. Would be really fun if I let the suspicion cook a bit more, only for them to investigate the NPC and find him innocent or guilty. I'm sure you have ideas as well on how to use it. I just want to share my experience. That's cool that works for you. I think that's great that that's working out. That just sounds like you're giving your players work. Like you're giving them... Of course, it leaves when I stop talking. Just seems like you're giving your players homework. Like you're just making them write about the campaign. If I gave this to my players, they would be like, Jacob, I'm not doing that. Just think about being like, and you'll be the note keeper, and you'll be the one that tells me all the cool stuff that happened in the game, and then you'll be the... I don't know. This feels really, really like specific for specific kind of players. I'm sure there are players out there who would love this and would love a sense of direction and a job to do to help them remember what's going on in the campaign. But I don't see anyone I know ever wanting to do this. It's weird because the problem was, I want it to feel more natural that my players remember what's going on in between games because they don't remember anything. To like, and now they're like telling me how cool my game is, and I don't know, just ask them. I don't know, that's fine. I don't know why you have to like gamify it, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, it just seems silly. Commenting here to steal this later. Thanks, OP. Interesting idea. So did they all take notes during the session, or did they just do this in sessions to report back? I don't think they made notes during the session. I wouldn't really notice since we're playing online, though. They're using journals inside Foundry to all access each other's notes. These were written after the session. I mean, that's impressive they're doing that. I've done this before with slightly different roles, which I'm now just naming. Tactician, tracks initiative, and duration of effects during combat, okay? Chronicler, tracks quests, locations, and NPCs, okay? Quartermaster, tracks loot received, loot distributed. Researcher, looks up rules for rules questions. Yeah, alright, I could see that, because that's a little bit more like out of game, I feel. And also, you're kind of like helping the DM And it become that this to me makes more sense because then it's like it's a mutual agreement that we're all going to help look up the rules. So like this is kind of like when you play Gloomhaven where you don't have a DM and instead you and the players are running the enemies as they're supposed to be run. And so when you everybody kind of has to like work together to make the game work. And this is kind of like that. It's like we're all working together to kind of take on certain aspects of the GM if the GM doesn't want to do those things. And I think that that can be really helpful. But these ones are interesting because I'm really not trying to be a contrarian here, but I feel like the Chronist will write a diary from the perspective of their character. My players already kind of do this, so to like delegate it to one person is kind of weird. I think this is like a good thing if like your players do not take notes or do not engage with the game at all. It's like, okay, I'm giving you guys jobs. You got to be able to like keep up with the game, which that's probably more of what's going on. My players wouldn't want to do this because they kind of already do this just on their own. So anyways, let's look at one more good one and then we'll look at a bad one. Is it wrong to scam your players? My players wanted to buff their magical item, turning a +1 sword into a +2 and similar stuff. They are friends with a local temple, and I allowed them to have the buff in exchange for some favors for the clerics. The temple people said it's very hard to do, and needed some special rituals to send them out and collect rare materials. It was purposefully a hard task since I don't feel that they are on the right tier for such items, level 5, and also wanted the achievement to feel better. When they heard that there was going to be a quest to do that, they quickly ran out of interest and searched for the same service in the black market. Typical players. You're like, would you like to do something fun in order to earn the... I got it. It's dead. It's dead. Hang on. It's so done, dude. I got it. And he's here to do some business. The big iron on his hip. Do I touch it? I kind of want to. Maybe it'll wake me up a little bit. Maybe not. I kind of want to. No, I'm not going to. Sorry. I'm not going to do it. Typical TTRPG players. Hey, do you guys want to go on a cool quest to earn this magic item that you could get? Players are like, no, we'll just find a different way to do it. We'll just find the instant gratification. I don't want to go on an adventure. I don't want to go on a quest. That sounds hard. I want to do this instead. There, they found a guy, scammer, from the BBEG evil cult, which the players knew very well. That said, he could do it for 250 gold in 2 weeks. Wait, what? They knew he was from the cult, and they were like, I rolled deception for him behind the screen and passed their passive perceptions. Well, it'd be insight technically, but yeah, you do you. So I didn't tell anything about the lies, so no one cared to even try to see if they were lying. Ooh, Pathfinder method, I see. No, the Pathfinder method would be rolling their insight for them. So this guy took half their magic items and left. In 2 weeks, they will return to the black market and won't find that man anymore, and their items will be lost. I'm planning a mini arc about finding the guy and retrieving the items. I know for sure I won't just give them the items. Maybe I can have the scammer mail them back with the money saying he can't do it or something. I think this is really fun. I don't know if I'm just a big mean GM or something like that, but man, I love this. I think this is really fun. If I was a player in this scenario, I would be like, this serves us right. This is what we deserve. I love this. I think this is really fun. You kind of nailed it. They were given a task and chose the easy way out instead of fulfilling the task. Yes. The players went for the easy way out and fell for the scam. Yeah, I think that's a really fun idea. I think that's cool. I think the reason why it's cool is that you didn't take them away forever. That they're gonna go on an adventure to get them back. I think that's fun. I think that's a really creative idea. I think you shouldn't be afraid to, punish your players a little bit, but then reward them with more adventure. I think that's what's fun. Okay, it's time to do the funny part. We're gonna go to the most controversial posts on r/DM Academy of this year. And this is basically, if you don't know Reddit very well, is a lot of people downvoted these ones. So either this is lost footage for Skylar only to enjoy because they were so heinous I could not keep them on screen, or we're gonna find some gold. So I'm excited. And by gold I mean trash. I mean garbage. I mean bottom of the barrel poop and poop from a butt. My players received a major treasure and none of them took note of it 3 sessions ago. Should I let them keep it or punish their lack of interest? It's like the opposite of the last story. So 3 sessions ago, my players beat a major monster and get his treasure hoard. It was a substantial amount of gold at this point. Apparently, none of them took note of the amount. So when the time comes to spend that gold, they will be figuring out who got it, realizing they lost the treasure? There are some time that my players' lack of interest on D&D frustrates me, refusing to read the rules, still lost in their character sheets, etc. Brother, I literally do that, dude. Ain't nobody gonna be perfect at the game. So I don't know if I should roll another hoard and let them keep it, or narratively to let them have a lesson on bookkeeping. I believe they completely ignored the amount when I told them around 5,000 gold, so my approach would be to just ask them how much you think you got and let them keep that amount. I'm pretty sure they will ask for less that it really was. Ugh. Ugh. Yikes. That's tough. That's tough. I feel this a little bit, and I don't think it's right for me to feel this way, but that can happen in my games sometimes where one of my players doesn't write something down or doesn't keep track of it, and they're like, hey, GM, what was that, what was the stats on that thing that you gave me that one time? And I'm like, because I made it up in the moment and I don't remember what it was either. And I'm like, you didn't write it down? And that can be frustrating, but we're people with lives and this is a game and it's not that important. Yes, keeping track of the game is important. And I do find a little bit of sick satisfaction with having to, punish them for this, but I don't think it's right. I think I think what's going to happen is they're just going to be like, okay, cool. This sucks and you suck. This is like the basic way to get out of it, to be like, okay, cool. I guess we just don't know how much gold we got. But to tell them like, nope, you don't have the treasure anymore is really, it sucks. That sucks really bad. There are some times that my players' lack of interest on D&D frustrates me. I think it's time to have a conversation with them instead of a punishment. Yeah. Talk about how they are uninterested and how you feel like the game would be better if they knew their sheets better. Also ask if there's things you as a DM should implement. My players also struggle with knowing what the frick their characters could do despite us using D&D Beyond. I had them face off against duplicates of themselves, which actually helped a lot. Yeah, that's actually super smart. That's a super smart answer right there. I agree with that. Talking to them is the best idea instead of like this weird passive aggressive thing that you're going to do. Ignoring legendary action costs. So those creatures with legendary actions that specify they cost 2 or 3 actions, effectively reducing the number of legendary actions they can take? Yes, I do know those. I just ignore that. I think it's lame and useless. All right. Okay, dude. And I can't think of a legendary action in the game that is actually worth a creature burning all its legendary actions to use. However many legendary actions a creature has per round is how many it can just take. My players never care, and it doesn't really change the balance at all except to make the fight more interesting. Okay. I've done it this way for a while, and sitting here thinking about it more made it really grind my gears. So I just wanted to suggest to all the strangers on the internet, let discussion commence. Try to change my mind, whatever. Just wanted to get it out there. Dude, let the discussion commence. Let it happen. I want to know what everybody thinks of me just ignoring this, because it's my game and I can do whatever I want. And now I need validation from strangers on the internet, or I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there in case you want to steal my idea. And upvote me. Oops, I got downvoted. That's weird. You just want to have more turns, dude. Have more creatures. Have more turns. I don't know. I guess this is fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with doing this. It's just kind of weird. I literally just got done running a game of Tomb of Annihilation for some of my friends at home, and I had a baby version of the Atropol. We're playing Tomb of Annihilation. I set it in Ixalan and Magic the Gathering. It's whatever. But they basically fought a baby Atropol because they went down to like a dungeon under Mesro or whatever, and I depowered the Atropol just kind of in the moment. Like I gave it half its hit points and half its damage that it would normally do, but I kind of kept its DC high to make it still feel kind of powerful, and also kept its legendary actions. But one of it is like a whale, and the whale gives them a level of exhaustion. And and it makes sense that costs 3 actions to do. I need to be strategic about when I use it. And I got to use it at least twice and give them 2 levels of exhaustion. That's pretty bad. That's like really strong. doing that like 3 times a turn is insanity. That's ridiculous. It's just, I mean, you're just messing with the balance of the game, and that's fine. You're DM, you can do whatever you want, but there's other ways to make it harder. For high level play, I found a lot of success in just giving the boss a whole extra full turn, either rolling twice or having it go to initiative -10 work well. I fully agree with this. I actually think you could just do away with some legendary actions, just do this instead. That is a really, really good idea. All right, this is our last one. These aren't as bad as I thought they would be. They're just like a little like, I think I'm gonna do this, and people are like, you probably shouldn't. Laptops at the table. We're a group of 5, including me, the DM, and play in person at my girlfriend in my place. We're only into the 4th session of the campaign at this point. My GF and another player decided for them that they wanted to use D&D Beyond, which I had some gripes with, but honestly don't care too much. So I didn't stop them, since it's their preference. How long ago was this? 9 months ago? All right. After the first session, me and another player realized that the big chunky gaming laptops both are using are taking up a lot of space. Shortly after, I simply asked them not to bring these laptops to the table. One of them sort of snapped and argued that they bought the laptop 1,500 euros and multiple D&D Beyond books for $120, quote unquote, for nothing. Ooh, they bought it for this? I felt intimidated by those numbers and the tone and didn't argue back. His tablet is old and slow, and he replaced it with a gaming laptop. He's also a DM. I am aware that the laptop was probably not just bought for that. Okay, that's what I was going to say. We simply agreed they'd have to sit back at the back of the table so the laptops don't block vision of the other players. Yeah, that's crazy. I am honestly not super happy with the laptops at the table. Too big, sometimes loud cooling. Don't love screens at the table in general. I agree. My players have laptops at the screen, but we also have a big ass table. And also we stream, so I don't know. An upside is sound quality, but I want to buy a sound box anyways. Tablets/phones are fine, since I sometimes share in-game content digitally, and we have a Figma board. I don't know what that is. What is a Figma board? Is it like a whiteboard template? It's like a whiteboard? Okay. Even a small iMac should be fine. But those monster machines are just not a good vibe at the table. Yeah, those guys are pretty big. Those guys are huge. I'm considering letting the new toy sink in and wait a bit. Thus, when I ask them again to do something about it and they don't feel like they didn't get to try it out, I will ask again to clear up any misunderstandings. That's actually not a bad way to go about it. In the meantime, I also want to ask the last player if it bothers them too. What should I do other than talk to them politely? What are your thoughts? Does D&D Beyond on tablets work well? Thanks in advance. This question at the end. Does D&D on tablets work well? I don't know. I just don't. Can somebody help? I don't know what's going on. Okay, before I read the comments, I think that I agree. I think that they're just, why is this person getting downvoted? That's really weird. I think that would be super disruptive to have like a giant laptop at the table. The table is a shared space. I had a small table and somebody's bringing a giant gaming laptop and it took up a lot of space. I would kind of be like, hey man, would it be possible I could get you like another table for your laptop? Because it's kind of taking up a bunch of space and I want to be able to put a mat down. Like, I guess he didn't really describe how much space it's taking up. Like, is it just annoying you or is it actually like fully taking up, like you can't put a mat down at the table or nobody can roll their dice? I don't know. Not enough description, maybe. At first I was on this guy's side. Now I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I like laptops, tablets for both player and a DM. Makes it easy to change things on my character sheet or to look stuff up. However, I do understand the size of laptops, table size, noise, players discipline, not to do something else could all be valid arguments against them. In the end, your table, your rules. If you feel like it has bad influence on the table, the players, the playability, get rid of them. Yeah, I felt that before. I can see laptop being like a big distraction. I've had players who've had problems with that in the past, and unfortunately I don't really do anything about it. I just go, all right, you're just not connected to the game right now. Like, sucks for you. You're just gonna kind of not know what's going on, and then whatever. I don't really do much about it, to be honest. If it becomes a problem, I ask them to stop. That's just kind of what I do. I'm like, hey, can you not be on your laptop so much? I don't know. I can't see a laptop taking up any more space than I already do with my character sheet and notebook. Yeah. You've already asked them to move. If they are playing games on their laptop, I can see that being an issue, but if they aren't, then what's the big deal? Oh, right, they make noise, like a quiet fan or like a jet, because if it's a jet, then it's a bad laptop, and the person got screwed. And okay, Mr. Laptop Expert in the comments down here, and if it's got big fans, oh, that guy got screwed. You should be having real quiet fans. Yeah, that guy's gonna need a whole new laptop. And they maybe should fix that. Yeah, all right, bro. Maybe the problem isn't a laptop, but trying to cram everyone around a table. I host, there are 6 of us. My table can fit 6, but it is very tight. So 3 of us sit at the table and 3 sit on the couch. That's I think most people are playing D&D like that. Man, I had all and then most of you, some and now none of you. Take me back to the night we met, the D&D on the dang couch and the coffee table. God, what a wonderful time that was. Playing 3.5, thinking a D6 was what you rolled for initiative. God, we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't understand. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. Is there a way for people to spread out and have space for whatever they need? I don't know. I don't know how the size of the laptop. I don't know how the size of the table. Let's pretend it's both. Let's pretend this is a teeny tiny little round table and this guy's got like full desktop. Like we're talking this wide, this big of a monitor, and he's basically like this. I would fully be like little tiny me over the enormous monitor. Hey man, this is kind of a giant rig. If you want, I could print out your character sheet and give it to you, and you could use it that way instead of using this giant laptop. Would that help you out? Because it's kind of taking up a lot of space, and I want to be able to use my map and put this on the. I want to be able to put a map down, and also nobody can roll their dice. They all just keep rolling off the table. So it would be cool if you just like move your stuff, and maybe have a smaller thing. I don't know, man. No, actually, I wouldn't do that. I would go, all right, I need to get a bigger table. And I would simply get a big folding table and put it across the table and be like, all right, you sit there, bro. That's what I would do. And then if it was like a tiny little laptop that was just like super loud, it was like a jet fan, I would just yell the whole time and just see if it would be annoyed by that. And then afterwards, I'd be like, hey, man, your laptop's really loud. That's such a crazy thing to like be upset about, to like write a story. Hey guys, I need some help. One of my players' laptops is really loud and I can't hear what's going on. We play D&D and I'm just like, the whole time, and my voice hurts. Anyways, does anybody know if D&D Beyond works good on tablets? All right. Well, this was fun. I hope you guys, I didn't rate any of them. All right, let's quickly rate them. Let's just rate these ones. Major Treasure Punishment, 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 advice. I don't think you should do that. Ignoring legendary action costs, 4 out of 10. 5 out of 10. There's smarter ways to make combat hard. And then laptops at the table. I don't know. Question mark out of 10. Not enough information. Anyways, thanks guys for watching this video, and we're gonna try to make how to play Bard for Pathfinder next week, and maybe it'll happen. We'll see. I don't know. Okay, bye.